Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's Pete Phil Collins. I'm sorry.
Man, that's so groovy.
That was
What happened here? I mean, let me move you up where you.
What's up, guys? How are we doing? I almost want to play that intro again just to groove.
Seriously.
Out. Holy cow! Dude.
I mean, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I was not expecting that. I love it. But welcome in. It's SEC After Dark. We've almost got full crew. Boss Man is not present, but nonetheless, this will be the last time you get the full crew. Steve is going into surgery and will be out how long? A month?
About a month or two. They're going in to drill a hole in my head if there's anything in there.
Yeah, so they're going to find.
It takes a month or two.
They're going to find some tumbleweeds, some topper dollars, some deja vu bucks.
Everybody else's brains working like modern computers. They're going to open my head up, and it's like, oh my goodness, Oregon Trail. I didn't even know they made that anymore.
Apple IIe.
Actually, I think Oregon Trail's on the Xbox and PS5 stores. Honestly, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah,
but Jake, you will never understand being a farmer, going at with meager rations at a grueling pace, and always fording the river.
I played it. It's rough.
Like, I don't know why I wanted to get the most money at the end because like I couldn't spend it on anything. So
right.
But the struggle. So you had to be in a keyboard class, and every Friday it was game Friday. So like if you did all your work, like you could, you passed your typing test.
Yeah, and then you die of dysentery.
Yeah, whole family does.
I couldn't stop getting dysentery, man. It was brutal.
Yeah,
it was brutal.
Has everybody here
cross the Missouri River too much?
Speaking of that, is there anybody here that's watching 1923?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. I've got to get back on.
I'm all about it. Oh yeah.
If it is not a happy ending, because the season finale is this weekend. If it is not a completely happy ending, Taylor Sheridan just made everybody watch a 2-season snuff film.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, they've been building up a lot.
I mean, if it's anything like episode 1 and 2, you're not lying.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying I can't watch it at school during my planning period?
I would not.
No.
Not recommended.
Would that be a bad idea?
I would not have it on a work device, maybe.
No. Yeah, even though it's Paramount Plus. Good. It's a fine show, but good gosh, it feels like they went overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's anything like episode 1 and 2, yep, I agree. So, welcome in. It is SEC After Dark on the After Dark Network. Joining me is Stephen Willis, the #1 Ole Miss host in all the land. Jake Thomas showed us a preview of what's to come. So that's going to be exciting. It's not going to be Tide Talk Live anymore. Bama After Dark.
What?
Yeah.
It feels like we're like consolidating our branding or something.
Yeah. I mean, we're joining forces to create a network or something.
Yeah. It's like we contacted Steer Marketing. And figured out how to do this.
Yeah.
And then Mike Huseman joining us. He's a relatively new addition. He's got what is it? College football after dark?
It's either going to be college football after dark or off-season after dark. One of the two. I'm not fully determined yet.
Gotcha. And then of course Jeb Beecham, the movie review guy. Eventually, we'll have to come up with a cool name for you. And then Biscuits in SEC. We got one half of the Biscuits in SEC with Hammer. Boss Man is absent tonight, and I'm Corey Burton, Locked On Vandy, soon to be something on the After Dark channel.
Yeah, it'll be something after dark.
Something after dark. That's a unique name.
I know, I like that.
That's not the name.
Yeah.
Well, that could be a name. Something.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, something. We talk about something.
I may start ones that's called Braves After Dark just so I can rant about them.
Oh, Lord.
What
That'd be a depressing show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't operate heavy machinery when watching that show. No, but yeah, Israel Troop and I are coming over to the After Dark Network.
It's Rick After Dark. I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rick After it's just monologue after monologue. Actually, you know what, Rick? Let's do that. So we all joined forces here to give you SEC After Dark. And
did you introduce Hammer?
I did.
Oh, I blanked out.
I did. I said one half of the biscuits in SEC.
Okay, we're good.
The Hammer himself, the Colorado Hammer himself.
That's right.
Out in ski slopes.
He got internet himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming in clean, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
The Hammer in a ski lodge.
Yeah, finally. It took me a few months, but now I've got real internet.
Yeah.
Nice.
They finally reached the top of the slope there. Great. So,
Yeah.
how's y'all's brackets looking? I'm sure y'all all fill out brackets, right?
Yeah, well,
3 of my Final Four are still in it. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
same here.
Well,
I think 3 of mine are in it as well. I have Florida's national champion, so I still feel good about that.
I got a perfect Final Four because I was the dumbass that picked chalk.
Yeah.
Just all number ones.
Pick
That's
the
the way to
lower
go.
seeds. Yeah.
Tennessee's. I got Tennessee. I picked Tennessee over Houston. That's the one I got wrong.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I appreciate that.
Ugh,
Thanks,
that's
Jeff.
ugly.
I had Tennessee in there too.
yeah,
George Jones is looking back at that. It's like, man, you guys didn't show up.
Yeah, that was one of
Steve,
the worst games I've seen from Tennessee.
Alabama didn't either.
Steve, the top of the Locked On bracket challenge is pretty good right now.
What is it?
Me.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's right, because you picked chalk. It's the chalkiest tournament ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's complete chalk dust, and I'm gonna reap all the benefits. I make mention on Locked On Vandy. I'm like, yeah, everyone's probably looking at this bracket standings, going, "Who the hell is Corey Burton?" And what's funny is they have no idea that I watch probably the least amount of basketball out of every single person in that bracket.
Well, but that's the way brackets work. It's always like some girl from your office that picked completely off of nicknames that wins the bracket.
Yeah, I didn't quite go
Yeah.
that far, but
Yeah.
I'm, I guess, the Locked On equivalent of that. But yeah, feels good to be on top though, as long as the Gators win. Which, oh God, that like kills me to say that, but
Yeah.
I just
We're destined for a Duke Florida showdown, honestly. I think.
I think so.
I'm hoping to get a
Duke Florida's who I had in the championship. Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a Houston Florida matchup, and I think that will guarantee me a win.
It could happen, but Duke, that's the best team I've seen, all year.
Yeah.
They're
Duke's who I picked to win it.
If you play Florida, you better be prepared to play 40 perfect minutes.
Oh yeah,
Because
for sure.
if you play 35, they'll beat you. And
All they need is 5.
Yeah, all they need is 5 minutes, and Walter Clayton goes crazy for a second, and all of a sudden, like you're up 7, and you're down 8 right after that, and you're like, "What happened?"
I think they was down like with a minute to go in one game and come back and win by like 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
UConn, I think.
Yeah, it was against UConn.
It's impressive that they just don't fall apart at any point. Even if they're behind, they still just keep grinding and grinding.
They just do what they do.
Very frustrating for another team.
Well, machine for sure.
The next Texas A&M coach, Grant McCaslin, almost gave Florida a scare.
Has
Is that
who they hired?
No, not yet.
No.
But that's probably where they're going to end up. That rumor is they offered like $7.5 million a year for Chris Beard.
And
he
Chris
said
Beard
no.
said nah, cuz.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
The other thing I said is the only answer they gave him, they asked Beard apparently asked about NIL, and the only answer he got in return is like, "We'll take care of you." And there wasn't a concrete number. And Ole Miss said, "Hey, we'll give you like $7.5 million in NIL," and just made a concrete thing. And
sold.
The tie always goes to staying if you're happy where you're at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He's got it pretty much made. Like they're going to build he made the Sweet 16. They're going to build a statue of him. Why not be in a place that loves you?
Listen,
Yeah.
and also he's a Longhorn. He went to
Right.
Texas. He coached at Texas. His whole DNA is about looking down on Texas A&M, and there was no way that wasn't going to bubble up in this situation.
Totally. And it's also like, it's a lateral move at best. I mean, maybe A&M, has more money, but like, as you said, Steve, he's happy. He's got a good thing going, and like A&M has no basketball history whatsoever. So if he wants to leave for, North Carolina or something, like nobody's going to blame him. But if he left for Texas A&M, there's not that much of an upside, I don't think. At least there hasn't been, historically. So
the only reason he'd probably leave is if they tripled or quadrupled his salary.
Yeah, and Buzz left because he wasn't able to get that commitment to what is being promised. That's the reason Buzz is at Maryland. That and the fact that he's kind of a 5 years and done coach.
Yeah, it's out of his playbook for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
for Bud, do you think for him going to a basketball school played into his decision?
Yeah, and the region too. Like he wants to be back in that region because he was at Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
and also he wanted to be probably out of the SEC.
Yeah.
Whenever you do, it would be better to be in the Big Ten than the SEC right now in basketball.
True.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet in the SEC.
Yeah, and he also just this season, A&M had 8 seniors, so like he was going to have to rebuild everything. So I mean he's going to have to rebuild everything, but now he's at Maryland with a long-term deal and in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
good for him. Good for him. Yeah, and Maryland being in the Big Ten is still weird to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the whole time is like the ACC wasn't that good this year. No, they're not in the ACC.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, they're in the Big Ten. That's just strange.
I tell you what I found iconic in this tournament was all the former coaches that they left, like Kentucky and Arkansas, BYU. All of them still got to the Sweet 16 with new coaches. No, it's incredible to see.
True.
We had 3 former Longhorn coaches in the tournament. 2 of them made the Sweet 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because Rick Barnes, Beard, and then Shaka Smart, Marquette made it.
I forgot he was at Marquette.
Done a good job there.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Granted, odd situation there because you're in Milwaukee and very small, kind of isolated campus, but basketball crazy because they don't have football and they go nuts for basketball there.
You got a Dwayne Wade, alumni there too. So
they have some kind of cool looking uniforms too. Whenever they do them up, yeah.
They had that like tricolor trim on their jerseys for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know if they still do. I haven't watched Marquette basketball in God knows how long, probably since Dwayne Wade was playing. But I'm just glad I didn't pick Kansas to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the Texas A&M thing, if we're being honest about it, like Fred Hoiberg, right, the Nebraska coach, Trev Alberts. I mean, it would make sense.
I know. Yeah, I don't know enough about him. I mean, I know he did well at was Iowa State, then was in the NBA, and I mean, I don't. Nebraska's not any good, so like I don't know if that's him or Nebraska, but I don't know if I would love that hire.
I don't know who this dude is, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great one.
He was a Timberwolf player for a long time, like when I was growing up and in
the evolution of beard growth is back.
Yeah, if you look at the screen, it's all the way getting down to Jeb.
Yeah. Like it starts with me with the 5 o'clock shadow.
And with me, with just a little bit more yeah. That was a good call, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
See, I've had a beard since like 5th grade, so like I'm like done with it. I'm like over it. Like I don't care about.
I don't know if I could grow a real beard, but I was in the Navy and had to shave like 3 times a day.
Oof.
And when I got out of the Navy, I was like, no, not shaving that much anymore. So if we're going to have scruff, we're going to have scruff. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I don't mind having scruff. I just don't like have a desire to have a massive beard. I'll shave like every other day probably and just whatever. But I have no desire to have a real beard. Give it time, you'll get a beard one day. If you only knew. If you only knew. I'm probably outside of
Rick shaves in the shower. Thank you, Rick, for that.
Okay. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. Rick after dark, folks.
Yeah, Rick got the dart. Yeah,
and he called that shot.
yeah,
Honestly.
he did. He
Yeah,
did.
Rick after dark. Make that a hashtag, and we're freaking golden, man. Yeah.
Honestly, Rick, once it gets to this point for me, it don't bother me.
I do the oil or balm so that mine don't get too itchy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
I just have no desire to grow one. I could probably grow one in
Yeah.
like 4 days, 3-4 days, but I could
Have
probably
one next week, Corey.
Nah.
This time next week, I'll be going. This time next week, I'll be going through potentially one of the worst days of my entire life. So, but if I make it through that, everything's fine. But yeah, the day after the surgery, if it's anything like the last one, is not good. First couple of days. If I make it to Saturday, we got some UFL football and some Detroit Tigers baseball. I'll be able to go home and handle that. But whenever I'm going to be in ICU for 2 or 3 days.
I was going to ask how long before you get to go home.
They're 3 to 7 days in ICU. Okay. And they'll send me home directly from ICU. Yeah, it all depends on how I react to it. And I get to be a pincushion for that whole time frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stallions play tomorrow night.
Yes. They need to start Matt Corral. Really? Quit playing around people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Lost in the game.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Beards after dark.
Beards after dark.
What is this?
We could probably get some good sponsorship from the companies if you did Beards After Dark.
Well, if we got a good sponsorship, I would.
I'll
grow one.
Man, you're on it, Polar, man. Appreciate it.
That dude's on it tonight.
Yeah, Polar is good, man. Jeb's Beard's a happy flashback. Yeah, Jeb, you have a fan, dude. I love it. I'm glad you finally got
nice.
He's comparing you to the Taliban, brother.
Jeb, did you pay him to tell you that?
I don't have that much dedication into anything.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
You've been talking about a new show for about 2 years now, so
yeah,
that's true.
I watched Moneyball tonight.
Oh,
I was going to watch Real Genius.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I watched The Doors yesterday and Tombstone today. So,
yeah.
Nice.
I finished Reacher yesterday.
Okay, don't tell me anything. I haven't seen anything about that. He said no, it wasn't a Taliban guy. It was just a normal guy.
That does sound like me.
Just a normal guy in Afghanistan.
Just a normal guy in Afghanistan.
That's what most people say after they meet me. They're like, "Yeah, he's just a guy. I don't know."
Yeah.
I mean, it fits.
He's just a dude.
I'm telling you, Jeb is 10 to 15 years away from being like a dream mall Santa.
Oh yeah.
Oh God! If you do that, Jeb, Jake will come sit on your lap and tell you what he wants for Christmas.
No.
Oh boy,
no.
Okay, I'm getting visions in my head, man. I'm just
so. Let's change gears to the Auburn, Florida game because
please.
Let's get off of mall Santas, and talk about that. You know, Janai Broom. Everybody's worried about him being injured. He's going to play. I doubt there's any way that he misses a game. But Florida, if Florida's on, it's not going to matter.
No,
Florida.
Yeah, they walked into the jungle and did what they did, and that was without Elijah Martin.
Now he's back.
Now he is back. If Walter Clayton is on, now the one thing that Florida has to worry about, and I think this is something every team should look at, including Duke, is the reason why Auburn and Houston could be legitimately in the final. Shooting 3-point shots in a dome, like the San Antonio Alamo Dome, that can be problematic for shooters because of the way it looks a little bit different. Yeah, so Florida could struggle, Duke could struggle, but if Walter Clayton is on, I don't know if there's any way that Auburn can win the game.
Yeah. That's the only advantage I think they have is the spatial awareness or the spatial illusion of the dome. Like I remember it's a real thing because like for me, I'm used to like shooting in a high school gym where it's like right there. And when I was working at Phillips Arena, I got to shoot around a little bit occasionally in the arena, and shots that I would normally hit, I was airballing. Now, it could be that I suck at basketball, but
to be fair, compared to a normal person, it was like you were playing on a 15-foot goal.
Hey, Corey, let him get all this out tonight because he's going to be gone a month. So
I like it.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. It's probably true. Yeah. So,
Oh man,
you can't say you shared the court with Dominique Wilkins.
No.
nice.
I shared the court with Dick Vitale.
That's a good one.
I was at the in Atlanta, the Final Four, Michigan and Louisville. I was there for that game.
Was that the year the dude broke his leg?
Yes, that was that year, one of the same. I was down there for Yahoo, with like Pat Forty and Greg Anthony.
I remember that.
That was pretty cool.
I like Jake's Republican Party sign behind him, the elephant. I need that.
Gosh,
Polar's on it, man. I love it.
Polar's on tonight.
Do you guys know this guy?
No. He's commenting from the Twitch screen.
Yeah.
So, this is great.
Yeah, but back to the Auburn Florida game. I think y'all are right. I think if Auburn's going to win, they need like a 30-12, 30-15 from Broome, because Florida's going to get theirs, and Broome's capable of it. I just think they need something like that to keep pace.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida is a outside shooting team, but they do have an assembly line of big men that just has so much height that can affect Janai Broome. That can it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think Auburn matches up very poorly with Florida. Florida has to basically shoot themselves out of the game.
If Broome gets in foul trouble early, it could be a pretty quick game. I don't know if he does that. I don't know if they can stick with him.
Yeah.
And Eddie Haskell at Florida has it going.
Eddie Haskell. With who with who, basketball or the cheerleaders?
Can Mrs. Cleaver, can Wally come out and play? Yeah.
Eddie Haskell. I love it.
Yeah. They went from Eddie Munster to Eddie Haskell at Florida.
That's a good call.
I mean, it's a good comparison. So I guess Eddie Haskell's going to follow the trajectory and go to the Orlando Magic and then Thunder.
Potentially. Yeah.
And then what Billy Donovan did? Oh, he went to the Bulls too.
Yeah.
Is he still coaching? Is he the Thunder coach right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once you get in the NBA, once you're a head coach in the NBA, you can coach for all 32 teams in 2 years.
Yeah. He's probably going to be coach of the year this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are good. I don't know much about the NBA, but I know the Thunder are good.
Yeah, that's as far as I can go. The Hawks are back to being terrible. But Ant-Man, my guy Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards is a superstar. So I'm digging that.
Oh yeah.
I'm digging that. NBA After Dark, welcome.
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of
a quick
which,
show for me.
Ant-Man plays in the Target Center. Winter Haven's about to get a super Target. What?
Ooh. So Ant-Man is a superstar in the Target Arena.
All circular.
Full circle. It's called Inflate Ball for a better grip.
Yeah. Polar Knight's trying out some jokes. He's talking about Tom Brady's new football brand.
I like it.
Yeah, it was one of those situations when I heard that I wasn't quite sure where it was going to go.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Okay.
I was like,
because every now and on Twitter you have those that are on Twitch that comes up to something like that happens, and I was like, okay, now Polar's good to go. He's good to go.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Don't ruin it though. All right, so Auburn, Florida. So my prediction is, I think Florida wins 78-74. That's my prediction.
I think if Florida wins, they're going to win by 10 plus. That's just the way they win games because the way it works out. So it'd be like 88-78 if they win. If Auburn wins, it's by a couple of possessions. It's like a 74-70 type game.
They just grind you down. And
because you're obviously not shooting well enough to score.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a more low-scoring game, and that means that.
Corey, I placed money on that. You know your shit. Well, I'm in the lead for the bracket pool, so I know something.
That's right.
I'm not because
Not either.
I picked things. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked better things.
Yep, and that and $1, you can get a cup of coffee. You know, your bracket results in $1. That'll get you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it will.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'll enjoy that cup of coffee. Just like Mike Leach, pure black. Just embrace the harshness.
Yeah. My wife was in the Navy. I mean, she can't understand how people put sugar or anything in their coffee. It has to be like straight
black. That's the only way to drink it.
Yeah,
that's where she gets her edge from.
Yeah, that's just called coffee to her.
Yeah.
I've never been a coffee drinker myself, so
I made it through 5 years of the Navy without drinking coffee.
Yeah, I don't actually drink coffee. I hate coffee, actually.
I drink like 10 cups a day.
If any of you had served in the military, you would know that making it through that 5 year period without becoming addicted to coffee is an accomplishment.
I mean, I'm sure it is. Sure it
is. I would say community, maybe Lipton, because we are from the South.
Yeah.
Lipton's
Like, weirdly enough, there's a lot of tea I'm not allowed to drink, but just go with the old Star Trek. Go with Earl Grey.
I never knew what community was until I was in my 20s and moved to Natchitoches, Louisiana, and that's all anybody drank.
Yeah, that's a New Orleans thing. Yeah. And I'm from South Mississippi, so basically all of that New Orleans stuff. I mean, there's a lot of South Louisiana culture in South Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I was very aware of community coffee growing up.
I'm from Atlanta. I drink my tea with a fork.
That's one of those things. Let's see. It's McAllister's. There's a restaurant chain in Mississippi.
Alabama too.
And Alabama.
Yeah, we've got
they are known for their sweet tea. Like if they are still doing it, you can put your spoon in there and the spoon would stand up. It's so thick with sugar.
Yeah, that's
kind of like McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's deep South sweet tea right there.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would make that type of tea. Yeah, it was, man, like
probably. I also never had sweet tea till I moved to Louisiana because it wasn't a thing in Minnesota.
It's probably how I got this physique. This wonderful Greek god-like physique.
Yeah.
Can't grow a beard though, so
no, can't grow a beard for shit. God, if y'all really only knew.
Dad bod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only one around here that doesn't have a beard is Texas A&M. Oh,
hey.
Oh,
hey.
Oh,
I'll give them a break. They tried.
We try. Yeah. We try a lot. You know, we try a lot of things.
I think you hit on the football hiring, but
hopefully,
yeah.
No, we'll see.
I think Steve got it. McCaslin seems like he'll be the next guy there. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes it. He's a Baylor guy, so you don't have to deal with the Texas stuff. Although you have to deal with the Baylor stuff, but that's not the same thing.
That'd be a good hire. We'll see if he leaves Tech or not, but I would love that hire.
Yeah, but I would put my money on Fred Hoiberg until I hear otherwise.
Yeah.
There you go. Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah.
The next A&M coach. He's going to come in and go, what the hell did I just get myself into?
Yeah, it's going to be about halfway through his rousing rendition of Saul Bevo's Horns Off that he's going to be like, what the hell did I just do?
He's going to go to the first yell practice and be like, I'm gone.
Yeah. It's like, what is this?
Oh, those are, hammer. I can't,
We never should have posted them on social media. Nobody needs to know about that.
Yep.
Nope. That absolutely needed to be your thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That was something you should have done exclusivity. Not as like, oh, this is this really cool thing that everybody needs to see.
I know.
So who gave this guy the microphone? Pumping more eggs.
Whoop, whoop.
This Texas team, they can't read. Whoop.
Not bad.
Sick burn.
Hammer, did you go to A&M?
Yeah, I did.
Do you have the ring?
I do. I'm not wearing it at the moment, but
Okay.
I have one.
Okay.
It's not a ski lodge. It's not ski lift compliant.
That's
so you
fair.
can't wear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he might lose it.
It's not OSHA compliant. That's ski lift.
Yeah.
I picture Hammer in like those 80s styles ski patrol movies out there, like just running around on the mountain. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Hot tub
I
time
wish I
machine
was
when they go
actually-
back in time.
It's like Aspen Extreme with Hammer.
Yeah.
I need to like shave a mustache or Fu Manchu or something, and I'd really have the look.
Mm. Oh, you're going for ski patrol villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to have the mustache that curls up. What you need.
That would be cool.
That would be.
Like a Raleigh Fingers?
Yeah, like a Raleigh Fingers or
Yeah.
like a 19 teens boxer. Hey, come on, stick your dukes up, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, say. You'll never take me alive, copper. Say.
Who was the other Goose Gossage? He had a heck of a stash back in the day.
Yeah.
The stash game in the 70s and early 80s Major League Baseball is on point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you
This time to go is like the mullet game that's in baseball right now.
I'll tell you, being a Civil War, enthusiast, I tell you, the beards back in that time were amazing. I mean, they're just like right here, and just come up, and they're just clean from down here. It's just crazy.
Like the connector.
Yeah.
I did
You
that.
gotta wonder how much time they spent on that.
The
I know,
Ambrose Burnside.
Yes, Ambrose Burnside. Yes,
Yeah, the
I
General
want that
Burnside.
so bad.
I did that once in college.
I can't get anybody
Really?
to cut it for me.
And
by the
doing
way,
it back then with no electric razor had to be tough too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They just get straight
Burnside was
knife.
where sideburns came from, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I did the chops one time. I did the Fu Manchu. I'll rock the
did-
goatee.
I did the thin line one time.
Of course you did. The Roethlisberger.
The Lonely
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
I was I rocked all the facial hair. I did the Tank Abbott goatee one time. It was like it just hung down just a little bit, It was like just mangly and thick.
It said batter missing teeth. That reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. Do you know how you know the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas?
Wow.
Because if it was invented anywhere else, it would be the teeth brush.
Oh. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Got him.
Yep.
Mm.
I actually said that joke on my show. I'm doing these evergreen Why I Hate episodes, and I got to the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I broke that joke out today. So that's the reason it was fresh on my mind.
Nice.
I bet they appreciated that.
Yeah.
They will on the 17th.
When it comes out, all right.
Yeah.
The comments on that one, that's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
I can't wait. I can't wait to. When's your Auburn one coming out?
It's not because Ole Miss doesn't play Auburn.
Well, you should have just done an Auburn one anyway.
Well, if I have extra time, but I'm not going to make extra evergreen videos if I don't have to.
Yeah.
For Auburn, you should. The comments. That's like, just be
They're
entertaining.
nuts. They are absolutely insane.
Mm.
But I've got LSU coming up that I've got to do either tomorrow or Saturday, and that one's going to be a pretty good one.
Mm.
Yeah. The rivalry there. So
Mm.
yeah. All right. You want to switch gears to football?
Yeah, since we're pretty much talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So Mike, this article you wrote, and
Okay.
what coaches do
Yeah.
we trust the most or the least? And yeah, I agree with Jake's question. Why is Mark Stoops so high? The only thing I trust.
That's not the one I wrote. I wrote a different.
No.
I wrote the 10.
He wrote.
I ranked the last 10 national.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah.
I want to know why you had Jim Harbaugh above Kirby. That was my question on that one.
Yeah, answer that one first.
Okay. Should I show the list to people? I did make a graphic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Uncle Sam seen it.
Do you have the ability to drop it in the media assets folder for all of the the behind the scenes shinfo?
How would I do that?
Or you can just share
add
your screen.
overlay
That's
and
what
just
I was gonna
put it in there. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. That's a cool graphic.
So these are ranked last 10, as you can see, and this
No
went
way
back
I would put
to-
Ed Orgeron above Gene Chizik. None.
Okay. Part of me, I did want your take on that, Steven,
Yeah.
but
Is
as
it
we can
like
see it,
I saw
your
Ed
nickname
Orgeron have a dogfight with Northwestern State.
but if your
that was the
nickname
year
is
after
Gene-
I was done being a G8 at Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your nickname is Gene Cheese Dick. Like
Well, you
Anyway.
got cheese stick and Ed Orgeron loving his Hummer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love my Hummer. I want a Hummer. I want to get you a Hummer. What?
I would put Les Miles higher on the list, by the way.
Definitely over Jimbo Fisher.
It's funny you say that. A few people did ask me why, and because I considered their whole body of work, we can't discount how bad he was at Kansas. He won 3 games in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, and then he got fired for massive scandals.
Like 2006 through 2011, LSU was a pretty special run.
Absolutely.
Ed Orgeron had
Very
1
good.
year. Yeah, Les Miles had like 5. I mean,
Jimbo didn't have that kind of run at Florida State either.
no. Ryan Day
Well,
hasn't
I mean,
had
they
one
lost
at
1 game
Ohio
in 2
State.
years. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty good for State.
Yeah.
Just
Jake,
Yeah,
I
I agree with Jim Harbaugh being kind of too high because Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney, they both have 2 national championships.
yeah,
They
I wanted
do.
to agree.
Fair question. I did it because of all the places Harbaugh won. He went to San Diego and won. He won at Stanford. He won in the NFL. He won at Michigan. He's started winning in the NFL again. And I think his body of work over a long period at multiple places is why I put him ahead of those 2.
Okay.
I did waffle with him and Kirby at 3 and 4. I knew I would have those 2 ahead of Dabo. Not that Dabo hasn't done great things, and I even said in the article, the top 5 will all be Hall of Famers for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I just looked, for me, it was just Harbaugh's body of work over multiple places and winning at both the college and NFL level.
And I know why Urban Meyer's number 2. I just
understand that.
I just hate it because he's a scumbag, grade A scumbag. But
I more or
That's
less
true.
said that. He might be the worst person in the world, but I am convinced over the last 30 years he's the second best college football coach.
Yeah, probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
It'd be hard,
That's
hard to argue.
Yeah.
Ed Orgeron, Gene Chizik, or Larry Coker? Who was the worst national championship winning coach this millennium?
it wasn't
I'm
Larry
still going to
Coker.
go Chizik.
Yeah, I gotta say Chiswick. I mean, he was
Probably.
fired.
Coker had one of the most talented football teams in the history of college football. I think Larry Coker might be the worst of the coaches.
I'll give him a little more credit because he had multiple good seasons, though. Chizik only had 1.
And it was his championship season.
Chiswick was one and done.
Yeah. And then, I mean,
Chizik was
Chizik at North Carolina was terrible.
Cam Newton in 4 or something like that.
Yeah, he was Cam Newton in 4. At least Ed Orgeron had one other good season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won like 8 or 9 games.
It's better than what Chiswick did.
I think it was like an Alamo Bowl.
Better than what Chiswick did. I mean, if you're comparing the two, I'm not saying Ed Orgeron should be anywhere near the top 5, but
That's no. He went to the Fiesta Bowl because Joe Burrow. got
Burrow.
multiple. Yeah, it was Burrow.
Burrow. Yeah, that was the game that like ignited Joe Burrow because UCF like knocked him out of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it media? Where do I go to drop? Was it media assets? So you guys mentioned something.
Yes,
about.
media assets, and you go to overlays and insert overlays. Add overlay,
and then it just drops it right on top,
and it'll come out looking like this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could never, or like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, pre-spring. So how do we feel about this list now?
I think that Zach Calzada is overrated.
he's the second best quarterback on his team.
I cannot believe that Kentucky's like, hey, this guy that was a third stringer at Auburn and was a backup that only got to play at Texas A&M because people got hurt. We need that guy because he was good at incarnate word.
Bold strategy.
Yeah.
Very
bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, he has a chance. Zach Calzada has the chance to be a 3-time SEC washout.
I'm telling you, Mark Stoops is in Iowa Hawkeye mode.
It could. Did y'all see the story about TJ Finley?
Starting
yes,
again?
I did.
Just
No,
the headline.
Texas State?
like he got arrested for stealing a $25,000 car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't he
And
the
he's-
one that tried to flee on a scooter before?
I don't know.
At one of his other
Maybe.
cops?
Maybe, but he said he bought the car in Atlanta, which means somebody might have sold him a stolen car.
Yeah.
He just didn't know anything about it.
That's very unfortunate.
It was $25,000, which means he spent some of that NIL money on it because he got a little bit of it at Tulane, not a whole lot, but a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a weird story.
It may be one of the like things too where if you're buying a new car at that price, but if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Maybe you should have done some homework into it.
Yeah, like
It's kind of the Nigerian Prince thing.
Yeah,
You got to Kelly Blue Book it.
Yeah, that thing is a hot potato.
Mhm.
And he learned that the hard way.
Yeah, the question is, did he get it in cash? Yeah, did the guy request cash for that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been the dead giveaway. And if the other person said that, it's a situation to where I think TJ might have a little bit of answering to do about it.
Yeah, I'd have been like, no. Mm-mm. Nope, can't do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you buy some on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, it's sketchy.
Yeah.
Very sketchy.
Facebook Marketplace
Temu.
is the new Craigslist.
Yeah.
Well, Temu's like Dollar General, Amazon.
Pretty much.
it's a good comparison. Yeah.
The memes you get from Temu
Oh,
or
my
whatever
God,
are hilarious.
I like looking on X because they put their advertisements for things like every now and then Timo's like, oh, buy this house, or here's a design for t-shirts. And it's just literally everything. And none of it is exactly right. It is like a copy of the copy.
Yeah.
It's the copy of the copy of the copy, like in multiplicity.
Mm-hmm. She touched my peppy, Steve.
Good. That's good. That's a good one. And eventually Jeb will break that down on his new show.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is actually a very good movie. A really good movie. I need to watch Multiplicity more. Michael Keaton's so good when Michael Keaton just gets to be Michael Keaton.
I was gonna say he's got a lot of good movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just underrated.
And he's Michael
and he's
Keaton
highly rated,
because he had to change his name to Michael Keaton because his name's Michael Douglas, and that was already registered on the Actors Guild.
Yep.
Also a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Douglas. Yeah. So yeah. So now the other article that we're referencing, who do we trust the most? Who do we trust the least? And Mark Stoops, whoever wrote that, why? I'd love to question him why, but Obviously,
What was he at?
What was the
Yeah.
list?
I guess
Yeah.
it's 4, I think, right?
What?
Ooh.
Oof.
Hold on, let me pull it back up. Hold on. Hold the phone. Y'all talk for a second.
I like him more
It is-
than most, but that seems very high. By the way, off list, but I trust Jerry Kill the most.
No, he was 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Sandwiched in between Lane Kiffin and Eli Drinkwitz.
Okay, I'm a huge Lane person. Trust is not a direction I go with Lane.
Trust
I'm
to
a
like
Tennessee fan, so that's definitely not going to happen.
trust
Yeah.
to like win games, not like trust like you're gonna.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's going to win 10. He's won 10 games in 3 of the last 4 seasons. It's fantastic. But he's also had very questionable things to where games got slipped away.
Right.
And there. Ole Miss should have went 12-0 in the SEC last year. They should have. There's no reason they should have lost to Kentucky, LSU, or Florida.
Right.
Period. Those games were given away because of analytics BS.
Yeah, he does tend to
Every
outthink
single one
himself
of them.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Clark Lee is
you're-
no longer the dead last. That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, who's the dead?
So where
last?
was
because he
list.
brought on
No,
Jerry
not
Kill
when
as an
it gets
assistant. That upped him. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jeff Levy is dead last.
Wait,
No,
wait,
okay.
wait.
Shane Beamer's
Oh, that
12.
makes sense.
Hugh Freeze is 10, which that's
It's
Shane
not me
Beamer's
being a
12.
homer. I don't think I got kind of salty about Beamer being that low.
Yeah.
In 4 years, 3 of them he's
Be-
won more than his expected win total.
Beamer has shown kind of some mental fragility against Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
That Citrus Bowl made me question some things about him and the way that he's going to act. He's a good football coach.
Yeah.
Felt like Bielema got under his skin, and he meant to.
I think so.
And he-
Absolutely. Yeah.
and he just couldn't function after that. And
Yeah.
that's a problem. If you're an SEC head football coach, you can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Venables is number 11. Like, what do we think about that?
I'd put him
No.
last. personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him at all.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
don't.
not.
Yeah,
He's had one good year in 3, and that was in another conference.
Your boy Mike Elko's number 9.
he's pulled 2 6-6 seasons, by the way. Venables has
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
He's on a short road to being Dabo Swinney's defensive coordinator again. So Steve Sarkisian, Brian Kelly, and Kirby Smart are 3-2-1. How do we feel about that?
Brian Kelly that high?
At
Yeah.
number 2?
Number 2.
They always rate him high. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is LSU ranked in the top 10?
I'm always the guy that defends him to other people. Even I think he's too high here.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
have Sark. I would have Kirby and Sark as 1-2 by a mile.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And where was Elko?
Elko's
9.
9.
9. Okay, that's about right for him. And I'm about to make a Texas 8-4 joke, but
But he won a lot at Duke too. I mean, where it's not easy to win.
yeah, he needs to. He needs
Radcliffe
to
did
get over. He needs to win double digits at A&M.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He needs to.
yeah.
If he throws up another 8-4, Elko is just okay. We can just kind of discount him.
Mhm.
Yeah, just the next guy that,
Mm.
goes 8-4 at A&M. A lot of guys have done it.
Where was Pittman? Because I feel like he's
Pittman's at 14.
okay. That's about right.
Yeah,
It's about right. He's just above the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
I think he's going to retire because of health issues. And that's going to relieve the admin for not having to
Yeah.
go through the process of firing somebody. So
I've said a few. I think I said this to Hammer and Jake. Bless him. We are. But one of the things I'm most curious about this coming year is if they do bad or if Pittman retires, the decision Rhett Lashley is in to leave SMU to go to Arkansas, where it's home, but SMU will spare no expense to keep him. He will get whatever he wants to stay.
Right.
and to be real about it, Arkansas's NIL fund right now is not where SMU's is.
No.
SMU's kind of bossing the NIL space at the moment.
because they
Yeah,
invented
SMU's
the
probably a
NIL.
better place for him to
Steve,
stay.
you said it. Steve, you said it best in the fall. The least surprising thing about NIL is SMU being good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
talk
they
about having a
invented it.
dry run.
And honestly, it'll be interesting too because, Arkansas being in the SEC versus SMU in the ACC is a massive difference, especially with NIL. SMU's got plenty of money especially in the context of the ACC, that it's hard to say that SMU's a better job, but I don't like. Is it easier to win at SMU? Probably.
Your path to the playoff is easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Listen, people, everybody talks about how much money Texas has and how much money A&M has. Somebody in Texas will tell you the richest school in that state is SMU.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just Pony Express. I mean, that proves it right there.
Corey, go ahead.
No, I was done.
No, I was just going to say, where was DeBoer on that list? I knew he was like 8, 7. He was fourth. Okay, I think that's a little high for him. I know what he did at Washington probably factors into it, but he's only got 1 year at Alabama so far. He needs to be a little bit further down until we know what we get out of him.
I'm gonna say, how much trust did he build out of that 1 year? I mean,
right.
He wasn't.
I think that
wasn't
goes
terrible
back
by any means.
Is it only trust in the SEC or is it overall trust? I think.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I would say still overall trust because your reputation still it carries with you.
That's how Brian Kelly got that high.
Yeah,
right.
His reputation of winning consistently at Notre Dame.
Yeah, Washington's hard to win at. I mean, but still.
And won the division his first year at LSU too. Give him that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's
but he did also, if you look at that, I think he won 9 games that season with a generational quarterback and the wide receivers that 2 are the best that's gone in the NFL draft in the last 5 years.
That's a good point.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the talent.
Yeah, they were pretty special offensively.
Chase sat out that year.
No, he's talking about Malik Neighbors and
okay.
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, 2 first-round guys.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville blew up their wide receiver room to build around Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
And Neighbors went off in New York with no quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
That's impressive.
He had the passing Paisano throwing him the ball.
Yeah, that's right, DeVito.
Yeah, that offense I think was better statistically than the Burrow offense, if I'm not mistaken. It was close regardless. And just thinking they only won 9 games, and that 2019 LSU team was the best college football team in the history of college football. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they had no defense, but Brian Kelly should get the blame for that defense's problem because he's the head guy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Bringing Bo Pelini back was a mistake right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's the opposite of Brian Kelly.
Orgeron did that, but then
Yeah.
How do we feel
had
about
no
talent? Yeah, he's at number 8. How do we feel about him?
8.
He's a little low.
That's
He's a little
way
low.
too low.
Who's at 8?
That's way too look at Tennessee.
Yeah, that's too low.
Yeah,
When's the last time Tennessee only lost 2 games of the season before he got there? Let me help you out. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was a Fulmer thing, right?
Yeah,
2003. He's done it twice in his 4 years there. Twice.
Yeah.
No other coach since Fulmer has left has gotten anywhere close to Heupel. He is killing it, and he's doing it with no talent. Well, I don't want to say no talent, but not nearly the talent that somebody like Brian Kelly had.
I'd probably have him 5th on the list or so. Going through it in my
he's
head.
so much better than anything we've had. I mean, Pruitt's best season, he won 5 games. Bush Jones had 2 seasons of 8 and 4, I think. And that's as close as anybody's gotten since Philip Fulmer, since 20 years ago.
Yeah. Now,
Heupel's great. And I mean, look at who he's had at quarterbacks. I mean, he's had Hendon Hooker, who was a transfer from Virginia Tech that nobody had any real faith in. Nobody even thought he was going to start. And he had 2 good years.
Say it.
And Joe Milton.
Say it.
I'm not going to get into Joe Milton jokes.
Yeah.
But
Dallas Cowboys got traded today.
Yeah. They're about to hear that joke a lot. Yeah, he got traded. Joe Milton got traded.
Joe Milton got traded to the Cowboys today. Yeah.
Oh,
Milton and a 7th rounder for a 5th round pick.
Oh,
I think that's what I heard it was.
Oh,
yeah, that was it.
So they're banking that Dak Prescott's going to get hurt again. That's what it sounds like. Trying to get a decent back.
And Jerry just sees, sees him make a pass, and he's like, I got to get that guy. He can throw the ball far.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Well, he probably saw him throwing orange.
he said, "Boy, I gotta go get that guy from New England, man. He threw the ball 80 yards, man. It's gonna be good."
Problem is, he can't throw a ball short, but they'll figure that out.
Well, what is it? What is it, Steve?
Yeah, if you need a pass down 40 yards, you can throw a pass 40 yards. If you need a pass down 10 yards, he can throw a pass 40 yards.
Now I know a lot of Josh Heupel's career at Tennessee will kind of be based off how he handles Nico, so it's still to be seen.
Yeah,
but
he's
I don't
gone
see how
with
you
that.
can't have trust in him so far. And he was great at in a smaller school before he came to Tennessee.
I don't
Nico,
wanna
I know he hasn't done it.
Got it.
I don't
Nico-
want to
that's right,
root for
Iamaleava.
I don't want to root for an injury to Taylor Green, but Madden, Iamaleava, and Nico Iamaleava playing together in the Arkansas-Tennessee game would be
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be hilarious.
Especially
I
Tennessee,
still understand how
Tennessee a
he
lot
keeps getting
revenge in that
underrated.
game too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was a bad loss last year.
Mhm.
but it's consistent. Now I'm getting worked up by it's consistent underrating.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about Nico either. He was, depending on which service you're looking at, either number 1 or number 2 in that class with Arch Manning. Everybody talks about Arch Manning. Nobody talks about Nico.
Well, that's because of the last
Oh,
name
whatever.
is easy to pronounce.
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
It took me 2 years to pronounce Iamaleava.
I just call him Nico
I still
now.
can't.
It's easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Nico, I'm Llama.
I am lava. So
Yeah.
the last question here before we jump out of here. The top half is Kirby, Brian Kelly, Steve Sarkisian, Kalen DeBoer, Lane Kiffin, Mark Stoops, Eli Drinkwitz, Josh Heupel. The bottom half: Mike Elko, Hugh Freeze, Brent Venables, Shane Beamer, Billy Napier, Sam Pittman, Clark Lee, and Jeff Lebby. So anybody from the bottom half deserve to be in the top half.
Shane Beamer, I think.
Beamer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beamer.
I think as far as
the main problem
I
I
mean-
have with the list is Mark Stoops and Josh Heupel should switch.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd put Drinkwitz higher too.
yeah,
He's been extremely consistent across 2 schools too.
I jumped Josh Heupel to 6. I jumped Heupel to 4, bumped Kalen DeBoer down to 6, leave Lane Kiffin where he's at. And I think Drink is fine at 7.
I think I'd put him at 5.
I think it might depend on, like, again, like you were saying, like what do we count as most trustworthy or whatever? Because, like, if it's just getting the most out of your team, Clark Lee really does a great job of that. But he's not
For 1 year.
a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
He admitted in an interview that it took him a while to figure out how to be a head coach. So
That makes sense.
He had high
Just figured it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hired
That was a good move for him.
he had to go to Jerry Kill University.
Mm-hmm.
But if most trust is to win the SEC, I'm not going to
Well, not win the SEC, but just win consistently and have your program in the hunt. For when they do expand it to 64 teams, you're ready to roll.
Thing
There
about
you
it
go.
is,
If you
go ahead,
Yeah.
Steve.
If you look at schedules, by the way,
Mhm.
Tennessee, Missouri, and Ole Miss have the best path to the playoff
Yeah.
this season. Not Georgia, not Texas, not Alabama,
No.
Yeah.
But
not LSU.
if
I
it's
looked at
consistency,
Missouri today. They have pretty favorable schedule.
if
I'm
it's
curious how
consist-
Pribula is going to be. That'll be interesting coming up from Penn State.
if it's consistency across the board, a 9-3 season is very consistent, but it's not up to standards at Alabama. So that is an issue that Kevin DeBoer is going to have if he can,
Yeah.
can
it's-
get to that
it's
10
all-
threshold.
It's all relative. Like
Right.
like you had success at Washington, but do you come in and does that success continue to grow at Alabama, like to the Alabama standard? Can you translate it over?
And if
like-
you're replacing one of the greatest coaches ever, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
how do you count his success there? I mean,
Yeah.
does he have to
I
be
think-
one of the greatest ever?
I think
Yeah,
1
you
year
also
and putting him at
define
4 is
metrics.
way too high.
You also have to
Yeah.
you also have to define the metrics.
Well,
And
you look at it, it's some weird stuff this year, like Texas, for instance. Texas, everybody, they're preseason number 1 in some polls and all that because they're crazy about the Arch Manning. They have games
Yeah.
at Ohio State and at Georgia. If you
Oof.
assume that Texas is going to lose both of those games, that means they have to win the other 10. And I do not trust Steve Sarkisian to do that.
Yeah.
and
That's fair.
if you put them at number 1, you're assuming they win those games. And if you don't assume they win those games, they're not the number 1 team in the country.
They're
Right.
not making the playoffs if they lose one other game.
An
Yeah.
interesting early season game is Texas at Florida. We might learn a lot about both
I
of those
agree.
teams in that. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
Lagway's
that'd be
healthy,
big for
that's
Manning,
going to be a hell of a
so.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Swamp, when they're up, if Texas gets off to a decent start with the Swamp, when it's up down there, that is a difficult place to play football.
Yeah.
And that could actually be the welcome to the SEC game for the Texas Longhorns.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't play a road game until like late October this year, but now it's flipped. So
Yep.
Yeah, now they have at Georgia, at Florida. Good grief.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving them Oklahoma because Texas is not a school that consistently beats Oklahoma. So I'm not going to assume that they're just going to have the W in that game.
Yeah, because that series has been owned by Oklahoma for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Missouri now. Missouri's conference games on the road: Auburn, Vandy, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Not a tough road stretch for them.
They got to come to Vandy, dude. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have the hanging
Students that'll be
scoreboard,
there.
though.
Yeah.
I know. That's
Yeah.
the allure. They're going to actually finish their stadium project, though, I think.
Did I see that Florida was remodeling their stadium or something? They won't be playing there in 2026. Something like
No, that was April Fool's, Jake.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Because they said it was the joke was that Camping World is where they were going to play it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was.
But no, Camping World did make a bid for the Jaguars for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Really? I didn't know
they
that.
They did make a bid for the Jaguars. That was a non-April Fool's.
Orlando's about to get the raise.
You think so?
They're about to get,
really?
they're about to get the raise.
they should.
Mhm.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I didn't know the Rays were
going
going to move.
The Rays have to
a long move.
because of the Trop. And the current ownership canceled the stadium build that they were going to have, so they're going somewhere.
They have no home.
They're in a mess this year.
Yeah.
They're playing at Steinbrenner. Jeb will be there in next weekend.
Can the Rays come to Nashville and have one of the most mismatched names of all time? The Nashville Devil Rays.
I think Major League Baseball told DeSantis that the Rays will not be leaving Florida. So that
They need to give Nashville an expansion.
Yeah, I think Nashville's going to get the White Sox.
The Nashville Stars is what they're going to call them. They've got all these mock-ups already done. Stuff. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
I'm going to get it on the ground floor. I'm going to be the manager.
Yeah, that's the ground floor.
You'll be better than Brian Snicker.
Yeah, he's having a tough go, Brian Snicker.
Okay,
Suck ass.
when you open up with the Padres and the Dodgers, it doesn't matter who you have. You're going to have a rough go.
No matter, we can't hit right now.
Yeah.
We got 3 hits in 44 games.
Like the Tigers went out and played the Dodgers for a 3-game set and actually played pretty well. I mean, even forced an extra inning game, got swept. It just happened.
The Braves had late inning leads on the Dodgers twice.
Bullpen sucks.
The bullpen is god awful. I could go out there and hit that bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
I'm actually
see how they do against the Braves when I'm there.
Where's Polar, dude? Where's Polar?
It's gotten late.
It's gotten late. He's
it got late early. All right, so.
All right, let's do 2 minutes.
Cassidy, where's my 2-minute warning?
She's next door. She's probably talking.
Yeah. Chatting it up. All right, so we are SEC After Dark. The channel is growing. The After Dark Network is indeed growing. We've got already this show. We've got Biscuits and SEC running pretty soon. The show with me and Israel, it's gonna have a cool name, and we're gonna it's not gonna be just about Georgia, so it's gonna be great. Bama After Dark coming soon. The movie review with Jeb Beecham. Off season After Dark with Mike, and then of course Ole Miss After Dark with Dids and who's the other guy? I forget
it. Hitchcock.
Yeah, Dids and Hitchcock.
Hitch.
Yeah, Dids and Hitch. So this channel's growing, and if you want to be a part of it, come on board. And if you know somebody in the business world that wants to be a part of it, beard products, obviously. We could have an official whiskey of the show. If Cajun Dill Pickles wants to come back on board, that'd be cool. I'll put him in the fridge this time. But Stephen Willis is he's not going to be with us for the next month. But best of hope all goes well in your surgery, and hope for a speedy recovery on that. He is the most watched Ole Miss show for a reason. I say that on Locked On Vandy all the time. He kills it over there. So be sure.
Not Rick.
Good night, Rick After Dark. Jake Thomas, Bama After Dark. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's gonna revolutionize the Bama coverage. It's gonna be like no other. Mike Hughesman off season after dark. He's been a great addition to this show, and soon to be a great addition to the network with his show coming up. Jeb Beecham, if he ever talks about movies, I think would do a hell of a job.
Mm-hmm.
His knowledge of movies, especially in the 80s and 90s genres, are outstanding, as you can see from the collection behind him. He's got a great set. Now he's just got to do something with it. I still think the idea is don't Google this. Don't Google it. That's a great show idea. And then Hammer and the aforementioned Boss Man, Biscuits and SEC. Check them out as well. And I'm Corey Burton. Locked on Vandy is the other show, and I'll focus the rest of my attention to this network, and we'll grow this thing like it needs to be. But until next time, SEC After Dark, we are out. Go Dogs. Anchor down. Peace.
Hey,